Here is something most gun channels will not tell you. You are not just building one single system, you are building 5: a handgun, a vehicle kit, a home defense position, and a pack you might carry for days. Every single one of those systems pulls from the exact same logistics chain. The wrong platforms will fight each other, but the right ones will feed each other. Today, I am breaking down the only 5 firearms worth stockpiling before 2027. These were not chosen for impressiveness or aesthetics. They were chosen because when the ecosystem you rely on completely disappears, these are the ones still answering for themselves. Before we move forward, if you are into real-world rifle breakdowns without all the internet hype and nonsense, make sure to subscribe. I do not just repeat what manufacturers or forums say. I look at what these guns are actually capable of when things get serious. Let's get into it, and do not skip number 1. Monster Review. Kicking things off at number 5 is the Ruger PC Carbine Tactical. Most people judge this platform by what it isn't. They compare a pistol-caliber carbine to a rifle and miss the entire point. The PC Carbine Tactical isn't trying to be a rifle. It is designed to solve a complex integration problem. When building a setup, you are constructing several distinct systems: a handgun, a vehicle kit, a home defense position, and a multi-day pack. Every added system pulls on the exact same logistics chain of magazines, ammunition, and muscle memory. At just over 6 pounds, this carbine carries light, and its chassis collapses to 16.25 inches to fit perfectly inside the exact same bag holding your core gear. It runs 9mm, the most stockpiled pistol cartridge on Earth, utilized across more duty platforms and supply chains than any other round. More importantly, in its Glock configuration, it accepts the exact standard capacity magazines already sitting in your holster. This is a strategic logistics decision that eliminates supply chain vulnerability. Squeezing out sub-2-inch groups at 50 yards and effective engagement out to 150 yards, it wins handily over competitors like the Kel-Tec Sub-2000 in build quality under sustained use and magazine compatibility. The integration role is solved. Stepping up to number 4, we have the Ruger Mini 14. The engineers who designed the Mini 14 in 1973 were solving a problem nobody in the consumer rifle market was openly talking about. They weren't building the most impressive rifle on the rack. They were building one that could exist in the widest possible range of environments without changing how those environments behaved around it. Built on a scaled-down M14 action with a Garand-derived rotating bolt, it fires a .223 Remington cartridge through a profile that reads to nearly every observer as a simple ranch rifle, a working, unremarkable tool. In periods of documented instability, being unremarkable is a survival characteristic no tactical specification can replicate. Weighing 6 pounds, 9 ounces unloaded with an overall length of 37.25 inches, it prints a low-alarm visual signature. Adopted by North American law enforcement, prison systems, and Border Patrol, its role is presence without declaration. Its fixed piston gas system runs reliably under the irregular maintenance reality that extended field conditions actually produce. No obsessive lubrication schedule required. Shipping standard with 20-round magazines, it relies on presence management. 20 rounds of deliberate, accurate fire from something nobody recognized beats 30 rounds from something everyone already feared. Taking the bronze at number 3 is the Arsenal SAM-7R. Every time a supply chain fractures and armed populations operate without institutional support, the same pattern appears. The platforms that keep functioning are not the most sophisticated, but those with the fewest moving parts, the most forgiving tolerances, and the deepest global knowledge base. The Kalashnikov pattern has appeared in more documented instability scenarios than any other firearm design in modern history. What Arsenal did with the SAM-7R was take that pattern and build it to a standard that closes the gap between field grade and precision grade. The SAM-7R features a milled receiver, not stamped, machined from a single billet of steel, to tolerances perfected over decades of Bulgarian military manufacturing heritage. At an honest 8 pounds, 2 ounces unloaded, it is built to last, not built to sell. Its 7.62 by 39 mm chambering is the endurance argument made in cartridge form, continuously manufactured across decades through immense supply disruptions. The chrome-lined, hammer-forged barrel carries a massive service life, passing military acceptance testing from -40 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees Celsius, with a documented malfunction rate of under 1% across sustained fire cycles in long-term institutional use. The endurance role belongs completely to this platform. Sitting in the runner-up spot at number 2 is the Springfield M1A. Imagine you are on day 4 of an extended operation. The weight of your gear stopped being theoretical somewhere around mile 8 of day 2. Right now, with a ridgeline in front of you and a situation developing at distance, you are either holding a platform that can reach out and change what happens, or you are not. Distance is not a ballistic consideration. Distance is a strategic one. The M1A is the commercial evolution of the M14, America's primary battle rifle from 1959 through 1970, which has never fully left active service because nothing has replaced its authority at range. The 22-inch barrel ensures the .308 Winchester cartridge reaches full velocity potential, arriving at 800 yards with enough retained energy to be genuinely decisive. At 9 pounds unloaded, this rifle is a commitment, featuring a battle-proven gas system and a rotating bolt rooted in the M14, delivering 20 rounds of .308. It is built for outcome-changing precision, ending fights before a threat even knows where the shot originated. Over 60 years of continuous production means the knowledge base around maintaining it, without factory support, is one of the deepest in American history. When infrastructure disappears, the platform that survives is the one with a community of trained hands behind it. And finally, taking the absolute crown at number 1 is the BCM Recce 16. Here is the ecosystem fact almost nobody in the preparedness space actually names. There are 20 million AR pattern rifles in civilian hands in the United States alone. That staggering number means there isn't a single populated county where a trained armorer, a pile of spare parts, or a working knowledge base is more than a short drive away. The ecosystem doesn't just exist, it is everywhere simultaneously without any single point of failure. This isn't marketing, it is a documented sociological reality, and no other rifle platform in human history has achieved it at this massive scale. BCM built the Recce 16 to the exact standard that professional evaluation units demand. It features a 16-inch hammer-forged chrome-lined barrel that is a true mil-spec execution, perfectly balancing velocity and maneuverability. Chambered in 5.56 by 45 mm NATO, a cartridge stored in quantities that completely dwarf any other intermediate round, it delivers highly effective terminal performance with a working range out to 500 meters. Weighing in at 6 pounds, 10 ounces unloaded, it carries honestly. The bolt carrier group is magnetic particle inspected and high-pressure tested. These aren't just manufacturing brags. They are the documented baseline separating a platform built to dominate the ecosystem role from one that merely occupies it. It feeds flawlessly from the 30-round PMag, the most widely stocked detachable magazine on Earth. Compare it to something like the Daniel Defense DDM 4v7, and BCM wins on the sheer depth of professional adoption and quality control consistency over a decade. The BCM Recce 16 holds tolerances so tight that any legitimate part fits without question. It didn't just benefit from the largest parts ecosystem on Earth, it helped build the standard it runs on. You came into this video looking for the ultimate survival rifle. What you are actually leaving with is something far more important: a framework, 5 different roles, 5 different platforms, and the brutal reality that survival has never been about owning the most impressive, expensive gun on the internet. It is about choosing the right tool before you actually need it, ensuring that your entire logistics chain feeds itself instead of fighting itself. So now, I want to hear your take. Which of these 5 survival roles do you think most people completely ignore when building their setup? And which rifle on this list do you think filled its role the best? Drop your reasoning in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe for more real-world breakdowns, because next up, we are building the complete survival loadout from scratch. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.